Developing today, growing worries in Prince Harry's camp that Meghan Markle's decision not to publicly stand up for her husband over the Sentebale debacle with Dr. Sophie Chandoka is a clear sign that she is backing away from the man who gave her everything.
Refused to defend him. That's the claim making headlines as Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's marriage is reportedly under new strain. This time linked to Harry's charity, Sentebale, and Meghan's silence during a feud involving it.
Amanda Patel in the Daily Mail writes, Meghan's silence says it all. I know the sad conclusion. It's so clear to me the toxic end is coming. So we're going to analyze this with royal YouTube sensation P. Diner in just one moment. But first, the context from Platel, who writes, why was Meghan, a woman usually so determined to parade their perfect family life to 4 million followers on Instagram, not out there in public to defend her beloved H? Why, for that matter, was there nothing but a passing reference to her husband when she celebrated with a solo picture of herself her 44th birthday last week? The Duchess merely thanking my husband in passing without so much as naming him. I have to agree with my respected colleague Dr. Max Pemberton, a leading NHS psychiatrist, when he wrote this week, what's puzzling is that Meghan has remained silent, no signs of support. While Harry is battling court cases and losing his beloved charity, Meghan seems to be on a high with her As Ever brand and Netflix show. Platel goes on, my sad conclusion is that Meghan now understands Harry is bad for her brand of love and gorgeousness and homemade jam, and that she will allow nothing, not even her husband's despair, to get in the way of her plan to rake in millions from it. With his star in decline as his wife ascends, it seems Harry, so far from being the breadwinner, is increasingly powerless, commercially toxic even. Then just when you'd have thought things could get no worse for Harry, up to pop the late Queen's trusted press secretary of 12 years, Alyssa Anderson, with some words of sound advice. In this week's Channel 5 documentary, Prince Harry, My Terrible Year, Ms. Anderson put it frankly, Prince Harry should stop being the victim. Platel goes on, perhaps when he wakes up in the cold light of day, hapless Harry will recall what his brother tried to warn him about all of those years ago, to be wary of a foreign TV actress he hardly even knew. As Daily Mail psychiatrist Dr. Max Pemberton puts it, in successful partnerships, there is always one person to lift you up when you fall down. Without someone like this, life is infinitely harder and less fun. Platel concludes, living as he does in the shadow of his wife's ambition, it is unlikely that Prince Harry's life will become much more fun any time soon. P. Diner, I thought that was really fascinating insight, actually, because remember, a lot of this Sentebale issue, I'm not saying all of it, but a huge amount of it came from the fact that Meghan Markle was so jealous of Dr. Sophie Chandoka that she treated her so terribly on stage in front of the world's media at that polo event. And it's true, we've had radio silence from Meghan, nothing to support her husband's charity pursuits. And while I think Harry has acted appallingly, absolutely appallingly throughout this entire saga, and the fact that he's now trying to ruin Dr. Sophie Chandoka's life, ruin the Sentebale charity that he set up in his mother's name, all of that, Meghan's silence does seem to speak volumes. She cares not a bit about her husband. She cares all about her commercial pursuits and whether the Kardashians are posting Instagram stories about her crappy little products.
Yeah, she's like the bull in a china shop, right? She just comes in, destroys things and leaves Harry to pick up everything. I think Meghan is just revealing her character. I mean, that's exactly what she does. She's not there to support and to help and to at least try to cool the waters. I mean, she has a lot to do with why Harry's going through what he's going through. She is the reason. And the fact that she's not trying to help him with I mean, trying to start another charity is ridiculous. But the fact that this all stemmed from what Meghan has done, and then she just disappears to work on her products and her brand. I mean, it should be that wake up call that Harry truly needs. He's lost so much already, and his wife is not there to help and support him. How do you think it gets better from here? How do you think you're going to get out of any conundrum that you're already in now with, this whole charity role with Dr. Sophie? It just shows you that Meghan is not going to support you. You're going to have to try to do things on your own. And Harry doesn't have good decision making. He doesn't have the network or the people behind him to help him make good decisions. And Meghan just comes in and helps to make poor decisions, makes his life horribly just in a disarray from the things that she does. And then he's left there looking like a deer in the headlights. Okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? And it just shows you that Harry is going to keep himself in these positions where he keeps getting himself into situations that are going to keep his life just keep going down. And I can't imagine how he'll ever be able to come out of all of it, especially with his family not speaking with him now. How does he ever get any traction to kind of find a better way or to see the light at the end of the tunnel? He won't. It's going to keep getting worse for him. And I hope that it will be the wake up call for Harry to finally see that, wait a minute, this is her fault. This is the reason why I'm in all of this. And he'll start to break away and make some concrete choices to start another way, because this way it's just not going to yield him any good results with his life. It's only going to keep making it worse and worse. And he has to see it by now. I mean,
Well, I think he does. I think he does, because I want to get into some numbers actually, which show just how terrible his predicament especially in the United Kingdom. But before we do that, Pete Diner, I also thought it was really notable this week that one of the establishment comedians in the United Kingdom, Jimmy Carr, a guy who's posed with the late Queen Elizabeth II before, has never got into this whole thing, just decided to make Prince Harry a butt of his joke when he was asked at one of his comedy shows whether he preferred Prince William or Harry. Watch this.
William or Prince Harry?
Prince William or Prince Harry? Well, the royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashians. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he up.
Felt like a significant moment to me, P. Diner.
Oh my goodness, it is so true. I've always said this is a soap opera. This is like Harry is in a reality show. He doesn't even realize it. I mean, Meghan has made him the butt of jokes in America. I mean, how have you fallen when you have been nothing but a joke the whole time you have tried to get on this new life that you want in California? You've done nothing but proving yourself to be a complete joke to the whole world. Everybody is laughing at this man, and at some point he has to, like in that movie with oh my goodness, where he was on a show where he didn't realize that he was actually in a reality show, and he didn't know it until the very end. And I think that's what Harry is going to at some point
like
have
the
to
Truman
realize. The Truman Show, yes, that's exactly what
One
it
of my
is.
favorite movies, actually.
Yeah, he's fallen far, and I think right now doesn't have a chance to get himself in a good position to have a better life, because you need to make some changes now. It is an emergency. You need to flip the script. You need to do something different, very drastic, because at this rate, you're just going to keep being the butt of jokes, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse for you. And before you know it, you're just going to be at the bottom and completely broken from it all.
So what's going on here? Let's unpack the drama and what it might mean for the Sussexes' already fragile image. For anyone unfamiliar, Sentebale is Harry's longtime charity, co-founded with Prince Siso of Lesotho. It focuses on supporting vulnerable children, especially those affected by HIV and AIDS. This isn't just another royal project. Sentebale is one of Harry's passion causes. He's been deeply tied to it for nearly 2 decades. So when the charity faces controversy, Harry's personal reputation is on the line. Reports suggest there's been a feud involving Sentebale's direction, leadership, or decisions. Harry was allegedly drawn into the spotlight, and faced criticism from former allies and commentators. But here's the key detail. Meghan, who usually supports Harry vocally and publicly, stayed silent.
Yeah,
And
that's Harry.
the numbers are just dire. But Tom Sykes of the Royalist Substack put together a very good summary this week, P. Dinah, which I want us to analyse. Here you go. Prince Harry and Meghan's desperate unpopularity only rivaled by sex pest Andrew. But he says 9 graphs from YouGov tell a vivid story, and my goodness, they do. He writes, the desperate unpopularity of Prince Harry and Meghan is revealed in the latest royal popularity graphs from UK pollsters YouGov. The polling provides a stark illustration of just how far Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have fallen in the UK popularity stakes. Put simply, only Prince Andrew is more disliked. Harry enjoys a positive rating from just 28% of Britons, while Meghan fares even worse at just 20%, her joint lowest ever score since tracking began. These numbers have barely shifted since YouGov's last survey in May, underscoring the entrenched nature of public opinion. By contrast, the rest of the senior royal family is in robust health with the public. Prince William leads the pack on 74%, Catherine is just behind at 71%, and Princess Anne stands at 70%. King Charles III is on 59%, and the monarchy as an institution holds steady at around 62% approval, with 2/3 of Britons still preferring it to an elected head of state. Camilla's ranking of 43% puts her lower than her fellow royals, but is unlikely to trouble royal spinners too much. The generational breakdown shows Harry and Meghan's problems run across the board. Among 18 to 24-year-olds, now remember, this is the key market, P. Dinah, that they tried to target. Harry liked by 33%, Meghan by just 25%. Among those aged 65 plus, the figures collapse to 17% for Harry and just 10% for Meghan. Now, he points out the data is based on UK respondents, not US sentiment. Important because America is now their home, the base for their business ventures, and the market that underpins their new Netflix deal. In the US, Meghan's popularity has fluctuated since her 2020 return from Britain. She currently enjoys a positive net approval rating of 15, though she remains well below the level she enjoyed before the couple's 2021 Oprah Winfrey interview. Harry has consistently polled better than Meghan in America, while both trail behind William and Catherine. The numbers leave little room of optimism about a rehabilitation in Britain. Public sentiment has ossified to the point where a return to royal life or even a warm welcome home looks impossible. The reasons are layered but deeply rooted. The couple's accusations of racism within the royal family, widely perceived as directed at the institution itself, were taken personally by many Britons who saw them as a slight on the nation. Their perceived disloyalty to the late Queen Elizabeth II, who remains a figure of near universal respect, compounded the damage. Prince Harry's memoir and their Netflix series painted family members in a harsh light, reinforcing the impression that they were willing to monetize grievances in a way that jarred with long-standing British royal tradition, exemplified by the Queen, of maintaining discretion and not cashing in on one's position. The sense that Harry has strained his relationship with his father during a period of personal challenge for King Charles alongside the couple's high-profile commercial projects in the US has only deepened the perception that they have placed self-interest ahead of duty. Once those narratives took hold, they proved stubbornly hard to shift. And Pete, I know, I thought the polling was obviously great, but what I loved even more there was the analysis from Tom Sykes, because remember, he's a very well-regarded British-based aristocrat who's also a journalist. And what he's saying is what I've been saying for some time, really, which is that you're not going to change our way of thinking, Harry. None of this running to Charlotte Griffiths with a story every little week for the Mail on Sunday is going to work when you let Prince Philip and the late Queen Elizabeth II go to their deathbed with accusations of racism hanging over the royal family. When you let that little creep, that little odd-looking bloke who seems to be having more cosmetic surgery by the day, Omid Scobie, when you let him report that King Charles and Princess Catherine were racists in his pathetic little book that you assisted. So I just feel like the polling is entrenched. And sure, it must be very, very difficult for Prince Harry to get his head around. I think Meghan has almost accepted it, and that's why her uniform focus now is on the American market. But do you agree?
Yeah, I think it legitimizes his downfall. I think it puts data in front of our faces to really see what we've been thinking and what we've been seeing, and it makes it more concrete and real. And it should be an eye opener for someone that is trying to change their life. I mean, Harry and Meghan are in a position now. There's no way you can get out of this going down and being looked at as complete jokes in America. You are a laughing stock around the world, and this is why these shows, everything that they try to do, will never find success because their likability is in the gutter. Nobody likes you. I mean, just look at the ups and downs for the trailer for Megan. I mean, 15,000 was it dislikes to 1,000 likes? I mean, how do you get around that to find okay, light at the end of the tunnel? I just don't see how they will ever find any success. It's you are a laughing stock and we're watching you and the data proves it. I mean, I think this is great to have put these numbers out and really shown this information in a way that makes it very real to a lot of people. And it should be very, I think, for Harry and Meghan especially, something that they take seriously because I think you can't get around it unless you do something really drastic now. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. At this point, the reality is you need to make a move because we know that this marriage is on the rocks. That is clearly outlined. And if that's what you're feeling, make a move because it's not getting better by trying to stay together and save face as if it's all well because we can see it's not. It only gets worse.
Very, very true. Very true, P. Diner. On the rocks is the understatement of the year, I think, but I totally agree. I thought I'd do some polling of my own with the outspoken audience, by the way, on YouTube. Let me show you these results, P. Diner, because I think they might surprise in a little way. So this is who is your favourite member of the British royal family. In fourth place, Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, got 6% of the vote. In third position, Prince William, with 13% of the vote. Second, Princess Anne, with 28% of the vote. And first, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, with 53% of the vote. It is quite astonishing, P. Dina, for a woman with no actual royal blood, although she is our future queen, to just be so popular.
Yeah, that must eat Megan alive, up alive. I mean, I think she would see something like that, or just in general, because I know your poll, whoever does a poll, I think Catherine is always going to be the one coming out on top. Someone who has not been born into royalty to be that liked says a lot about her character, her commitment to duty. It just tells you so much about the kind of person she is, and that's what people like. And I think when you see that, it just makes people think, yeah, let me find out more about her and really want to look further into who this woman, Catherine, is. And it just kind of makes her star keep growing and growing because more people are going to be shining a light on her, and more people will see this and really want to draw to this woman because there is something about her that so many people like that it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it's the same for me and Princess Diana. I mean, I saw Princess Diana all the time in the news in America, all the things that she was doing, and people start to get curious about, oh, she's really like, what's so special about her?
Critics say her refusal to defend him sent a message that Meghan may be distancing herself from Harry's baggage, or simply didn't want her name dragged into the controversy. And for a couple who brand themselves as united against the world, that silence was loud. This fuels a bigger narrative that Meghan and Harry aren't as solid as they once seemed. We've heard similar whispers before. Meghan being frustrated by Harry's longing for the UK, Harry being tired of Meghan's Hollywood demands, disagreements over projects and money. Now, Meghan's refusal to defend him in a public feud is being painted as proof of strain. Here's why this refuse to defend him headline stings. 4 years. Harry has defended Meghan against the press, against the royals, against everyone. He walked away from his family, his country, his life of privilege, in large part to protect her. So when Meghan stays quiet while Harry is under attack, critics say it's hypocritical,
And then people start to investigate, and before you know it, more people are becoming supporters that normally don't have connection to really wanting to know about the royals, you know. And I think she just highlights the work of the royal family and her good behavior, her likability shines a light that is going to continue to grow and to make her even just as big as not Diana, but just at that level. That's where she's going. Like everything is going up for her. You can see that clearly. She's amazing. I love Catherine.
And then let's have a look at our polling for the worst royal. Again, I think this might surprise some people, P. Dina.
Mm.
In fourth position, actually, is Prince Harry, just 11% of the vote. 14% say Prince Andrew, which again, that's very different to public polling. The runner-up is actually King Charles. Now, I think that relates to what's going on politically here in the United Kingdom in terms of his
Mm.
positioning in regards to Islam and some other woke issues. But again, overwhelming. It's just overwhelming, isn't it? 49%, 49% say Meghan Markle.
Wow. Wow, Megan, girl, I'm sorry, you've been outdone. You've been outdone. It's like, oh, just wake up to the reality. It's so unbelievable to me how they think they can just keep doing the same thing and they're going to find likability. They're going to find this ray of light that's going to suddenly turn things around for them, but it just won't. I mean, this woman had an amazing opportunity, and to be that disliked as an American, as a woman of color who I think we welcomed that in the beginning, and to now see you as at the very bottom of all of these things around, you know, like who you are. It just paints such a clear picture that, you know, Megan's star is never going to shine anywhere. I mean, the Royals have set the standard. Your likability is like in the gutter, and it will continue to be like that wherever you go because she's not changing. She's not trying to do things differently, trying to do the same thing over and over again in a different way. I mean, just like with the show. I mean, the season two. It's like, really? We just that's the same thing you did last season. There's nothing different, unique. It's for me, I think Megan just needs to start waking up to the new reality. And it's like someone just doesn't want to wake up to their new reality. You're just not liked at all. At all. And Harry, oh my goodness. Wasn't his lower than Andrews? Was his
Mm,
lower than Andrews? Yeah,
mm.
slightly. Yeah. I mean, that's really bad if you're like worse than it. What? I mean, I
I
do not
mean, a lot
understand,
of people will
Dan.
find it quite crazy actually that Charles was so much higher up in that vote. Look, I wanted to talk
Yeah.
to you about People Magazine because they have gone very early this year to be first on the Diana anniversary. And of course, they are looking at the relationship between Prince William and Harry. But remember, this is interesting because People has been so closely aligned to Harry and Meghan, but increasingly are struggling to find ways to be positive about them. Here's the cover. It's very striking, P. Dina.
Mm.
Diana's Sons Divided uses that iconic picture of the three of them. 28 years after her death, new details. One brother is preparing to be king, the other has stepped away to protect his peace. Prince William and Prince Harry remain devoted to their mother and painfully estranged. There's the quote there: Diana would have acted as peacemaker. Now, I've looked at this article inside just so I can give you the best details. So inside its headline, Prince William and Prince Harry divided by profound rift. And here's what they're basing this on. So, need to know, Prince William and Prince Harry continue to honour their late mother, Princess Diana, through much of their public work and philanthropy. Their painful feud remains profound and long-lasting, historian Robert Lacey tells People. Diana's biographer Andrew Morton calls the rift a great loss for the monarchy. And digging down into some of the details, they write their feud exploded into public view in 2020 when the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped back from their royal duties. Things were said that sparked the initial rift, and it's never healed, according to Andrew Morton. Robert Lacey, who remember wrote that brilliant book, Battle of Brothers, which I contributed to, The rift is very profound and very long-lasting. It will not be changed, in my opinion, until Harry makes a move and apologizes. He'll be furious about that. As historian Amanda Foreman, everyone wants it to happen on their terms, but that's what makes it impossible. Then this is interesting. They've got a source close to the royal household, speaking to the magazine, saying this is the sadness of it. They aren't supporting each other like they should be. That's what any mother would want, that they are there for each other. And adds Morton, Diana always used to say she had two boys for a reason. The younger would be there to support the older in the lonely task as future king. There is no doubt Harry would have tried to act as a peacemaker. No doubt Diana would have tried to act as a peacemaker between them. If she had been around, they would have worked things out in a different way. Now, Pete Diner, the line here, which I thought was most interesting, because obviously this is in People magazine, but I completely agree with it. And you know Harry will be reading this, which is what makes it, I guess, more potentially interesting, is Robert Lacey just being very clear and saying, nothing's going to change until you apologize, Harry. That's the only thing that might make a difference. And it's going to have to be one hell of an apology. But what did you make of this piece, Pete Diner?
I just think Harry is in a position to really shine light on his mother's legacy and what she wanted for her sons. She wanted them to get along and to have a good relationship. And he's going against his own mother's legacy, essentially. And there has to be this moment in your life where you find that moment of truth where you just try to go forward now and just find the truth of your situation. And the truth is that Harry was always supposed to be there to support his brother. And the fact that he is not doing that, he's not trying to apologize, except he's wanting an apology. He is going against his own mother's legacy. How can you feel like you are doing anything right by your own mother when you can't even adhere to the basic things that she talked about? I remember hearing Diana say that about Harry being the one to support his brother. And if that's the reason why you were born and brought into this world, then uphold the things that your mother wanted. That's how you show your true devotion to your mother's work, her legacy, everything about Diana. It's not by going and showing yourself in photo ops, walking the landmines. Like, do something really concrete that is meaningful, that's more than likely difficult for him to do. And I've always said, usually the right thing to do is usually going to be the most difficult thing to do. But if you try to use the easy way out, you're not upholding or doing anything that's meaningful in this situation. It's difficult for you to admit you're wrong. It's difficult to say you're sorry. But if you don't go to that very deep, difficult place that really hurts, you're not going to find the truth. You're not going to find happiness. You're not going to find meaning in anything, because this is what your mother wanted you two to get along. And you're going against the things of your own mother, your late mother. How is that going to be good for you, Harry, trying to move forward in life while always going against in opposition to what your mother wanted for you? It doesn't get better for you ever until you uphold this legacy of your mother and what she wanted for you. That's what he has to do.
And shows the relationship might be one-sided. Look, couples don't need to defend each other every single time they're criticized. Sometimes silence is strategy. But when you've built your entire brand on unity, it's us against the world. Moments of silence become the story. Do I think Meghan abandoning Harry over Sentebale is proof their marriage is collapsing? Not yet, but it is a sign of tension. And tension, in the world of the Sussexes, always turns into headlines. So what do you think? Should Meghan have spoken up to defend Harry, especially given how fiercely he's defended her? Or was her silence the smarter move? Let me know in the comments. Hit like if you enjoy these breakdowns, and don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered royal commentary. Because when it comes to Meghan and Harry, even silence speaks volumes.